Hola. Good evening, bandits. I could get prettied up before I come on. I didn't know, but I need to. What up? Know something that's the best one and done ever, in my humble opinion. Absolute best one and done. Everybody else has to get on your level of the one and dones and drop a like. You just gotta beat the bots. That's all you gotta do. Beat the bots to the show. Do. Drop this in here. What's up, Naveen? Or Ari, how's it going? I think it actually might just be. I know I said I wanted to get somebody else. I'll text Eddie and see if he wants to come on. Dude, these openings are not fun. I mean, they're not fun. I'm not trading them. But they're not fun, and you just can tell they're not fun. And I'm just like, man, I hate this. It's like you just want to get in so bad. It's like trying to control like this crazy urge, and you just can't. I don't know. It's just, ugh. Dude, good job. Did you have a bad day the other day? And you're still having the best month. That's a good job, brother. Base hits are the only way I'm doing solid. Like, if I was swinging for the fences every day, I would be struck out by now. Like, I would totally be having a blowout month. Like, this month is not. Uh, like, there are some plays where I've been able to do stuff. Okay. Oh, so you've been able. That's not bad. I mean, I assume that's not bad, but like, you can recover from that in a day of just like pretty decent trading. Honestly, you can probably recover from that in like one trade. Oh, I wish my bad day was 352. I had one bad day. The rest of the days were pretty. Well, I had two really good days, and then mostly flat days, and one like average bad day thrown in there. Dude, that's a win. Like if you can reduce, and especially in this choppy market, like your bad red days, and be like, you know what, I'm only red $300 instead of like 10 grand. Like my red days are still, I've got them from like five figures down to around 5 grand. Every now and again, I throw in a 5 figure red day, but and I say that like it happens all the time. It doesn't, but generally speaking, when they happen now, it's like under 5 grand. I've just entirely changed my approach to getting back. Like if I lose early, which then has changed my mindset of trading early. Like I've just completely shifted in this market from how I'm just looking at things. You know, it's like instead of just going hog wild and aggressive on things, and jumping into crap, it's like I've been much more sedate early, so I'm not coming back. And I've made my mindset when I'm coming back, if you get green, you're done. Yeah, you're sick and tired until you're done being sick and tired, and now you're just like, I'm gonna be smart. And now those base hits add up, and you look back at the end of the month, and you're like, dang, I'm a freaking good trader in a tough market. The psychology of trading red is so interesting. So incredibly interesting and different as compared to like when you're green and you're comfortable and you're just making good trades and stuff, and then compared to like when you get red and when things are difficult and choppy. It's just so much easier to take good setups and to find them and to have confidence if you're not down big. And it's the same way early in the day, unless you're just like really a pro and you've just been doing it for a bit. That's a pretty good salary. That's a pretty good month salary. For sure. Sorry, 1 second. And we'll kick it. Just chilling. Throw up the intro in just a second, and then we'll kick the show. Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is like coming back, you paid somebody else's salary doing that. So it was like what I'm saying is the difference in like that intelligent trading just not blowing out, you know. And if you look at it like this month hasn't been any better than last month really. And we've had a few good days, but not really a good week yet this month, I don't think. So it's like if you only made hypothetically, let's say 10 grand, as opposed to losing 38 grand, that's a $48,000 difference, you know, or you only made 20 instead of losing 38, that's a $50,000 difference on your year. So it's like, yeah, your small flat green months aren't like, and I say small, 20K small, but 10K, 5K, whatever. Your quote unquote small green months. So it's like, oh, yeah, they're not like, I don't know, they're not like the biggest thing ever. But then also you're like, yeah, but if you're just that, if you're 10,000 green or 5,000 green instead of 30 or $40,000 red at the end of the year, you know, yeah, sure, you had a few small months in there, but then those big amazing months are just going to be ones that are like adding cushion and all that, and are just going to be expanding your account as opposed to the ones that are, you know, draining it, and then your good months just get you back to even. Like, how many times do you do that, you know? So I would have had a really good day today if Facebook would have followed through, which is actually like the only name per se, or like the only trade review I'll do tonight. My failed Facebook trade. I was up like 50 cents on 100 contracts. And I sold some of them, and then this happened. I was like, no, I got stopped out. And then I thought about getting back in here, but I'm in the way. I'll talk about this trade. This beautiful trade. And then it didn't work. Man, I would have got paid. Oh well. I'll take that trade 10 times out of 10 times. What up, Elizabeth? How's it going, girl? How was your week? Yeah, I've kind of found the same thing, Naveen. That second leg, like once you can identify a leg, playing that second leg was so much easier. Because you could even spot the pivots in the first leg. It's like with Facebook, you know, if you fibbed this move here, I think I fibbed this wrong during the day when I did it. I guess you could say you'd fib this one instead of this one. But yeah, if you fib this whole move in Facebook, this kind of first leg, because I would call this a first leg, I wouldn't call it going here. Let me move my face out of the way. Like you can clearly see it pulling down, and then you have your 38% retracement, and then you're above your 50% retracement, and then you break down below it, and then it goes. But you kind of have levels that you can spot and look to hit on that second leg of a trade as opposed to the first leg of a trade. You can spot the names that are strong, but of course when the cues are just being garbage, it makes it really annoying. At least slightly less fun. So let's kick it off with the toast. We'll talk about this trade a little bit, talk about the week, talk about expectations, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll answer questions. We'll hang out, we'll chill, we'll have a good time, or we'll have a an average time. So we'll see what's up. I think it's probably just me tonight. If Rose hops on, I'll ask if she wants to come on, but I know people are busy and Friday nights. CT just getting back in town, first day on the mic today. He's out today, but I think he is going to come back on next week. And I need to have like some backup. Not that anybody here is a backup, but have like other people for backup for Friday shows. I think Friday shows are a lot more fun when it's not just me talking. So we'll see. I'll make sure I can kind of adjust that for the future. Let's see who's here. So, yeah, either way, guys, here we go. Cheers to you. Cheers to the trading. May your scalps be quick, your PI good. May you rob the market of what you can. Take the best, leave the rest. Cheers, bandits. Let's kick the show off. Send one more text and then we'll review this. Per the norm, if my kids get up, I'll run upstairs. But other than that, I'll be down here. So, let's see. So, per the square trade that I posted, per the Google trade that I posted earlier, for what I talked about on Wednesday's show about what I'm kind of looking for in some of these names and in some of these trades lately. My trade today that would have made my day but did not work was this Facebook. Here's a 2-minute chart. Here's a 1-minute chart. Facebook was strong. The market was weak. If we jump into the triple Qs, I called this trade out when I got in it. You can see like market down, weak, Facebook strong. Okay, I like Facebook. Don't have my exact, I didn't print out the stuff. I missed this. No, wait, I got this entry, but I didn't write it. Like, I think I traded some of this, but I sold the pop or something here and then got out and I waited. And then there was a green takes red that took place after it pulled back. So I waited for the pullback for the first leg to be done. I fibbed this leg of the move. And then it pulled down, and as it broke through VWAP and started coming back up, this is the This is the 2-minute chart. I took Facebook off of the 21 as it started to kind of tick up here, somewhere in this range before this 2-minute broke out, and my stop was going to be just basically the bottom of this candle. So my stop was 22,226. And I was at the money calls, and they weren't moving. I mean, they were moving, but it's not like that they were ripping or anything. We were on the 21, so it was a 2-minute 21. On the 1 minute, it was probably a few things too. Yeah, it broke below VWAP, and didn't look incredible, but it was fine on the 1 minute. What is wrong with this? So took that, basically got whipped around here. I think I maybe sold a few contracts here, and I had a decent number of them. And then I just held. This was a hard hold here because it was, my stop was going to be 22.55. Basically, if I saw that print go off, I would sell, and it went down to 22.65, and the bottom of this candle was 22.60, so that was my stop. I was like, please don't stop, please don't stop. Come on, Facebook. And then it actually ended up going up. At this point, I was up 50 plus cents on the contracts, it had gone up, and to me everything kind of looked good, and then some negative market news started coming out. Thankfully, I had sold a few shares, so it didn't end up being a losing trade. But as this happened, I wasn't going to get out right away, and then you can see it kind of pop back up here. But then this candle started going, and you could tell that there was something different about this pull-in. So I actually sold before it hit my stop. I sold as it started breaking this 23.14 level. So once it broke that 23.14 level and you could see the volume was different than on these previous choppy candles, I sold, thankfully, and then it went down here. I actually looked at re-entering and like in here on this second or third bar, I was like, man, it's held up. And like I talked about on a show the other day, I like to buy it near support, and since it kind of held this, but just because of the way the market was, I just didn't play it. I wasn't up enough on the day, I guess, to be confident in it, and these wicks really kept me out of it. So I didn't play it. It ended up going up, chopping around, and then going back down. Don't mind missing it, but after that, I was just like, you know what, this is going to be the type of day it is. I don't know that I'm going to get anything or not get anything, so I kind of just let it alone. Didn't play it. And came back and did, I think I did Tesla at some point. And I made money when Tesla broke out later in the day. And that was my day. Like when we had this breakout of this range, I scalped maybe 4 trades total in here. And I said, hey, I'm finally green. I'm going to protect it. And I was pretty much done for the day. I had my kids today. So played with them. It was kind of a boring day. It's been a hard week. It's been a tough week. It's been a choppy week. I don't know what you guys think about it, but that's, I felt like it's just been like a choppy, like really annoying kind of week. It's one I don't mind forgetting. There were some good days, don't get me wrong. I had a few good days. There were like 2 good days, but the rest of it was just like blah. Just very eh. Sorry, one of my kids are moving around. So yeah, it was. And look at, even the daily today. Like, look at the volume on the daily in Tesla, where it's at, compared to where it's been. Like, this is probably one of the lower volume days we've had. And it was an inside day. You can see the same thing in the Qs. Really low volume for most of the day. Yeah, double inside bar on Tesla. Amazon, whew, some low volume. Maybe Amazon's going to get better after the split. I really hope it does. But I was looking at the volume and where things were at early day. I was just like, man, Apple's about average where it's been, but a little bit lower. Apple's just grinding higher. I just can't make money in Apple. I've tried, short of just holding it all day, assuming it's going to go up. Especially for scalping, it's been hard. Dude, the best thing I found with that is like buying at the support levels. Like, I'm not scalping breakouts, I'm scalping pullbacks. It's like I'm waiting for the pullback. But it's even hard because Rose said it this morning. She was like, I want like a trend, and there's no trend to trade here, so I'm not going to trade. And that's kind of how I felt. It was like, when there's a trend, you can scalp the pullbacks because it's going to continue to trend. But when you're just in a chop zone, it's just more difficult. And we know that none of us like to sit there and trade for 15, 20, 30 minutes, adding to positions and doing stuff like that. Some of us do. I'm kind of hoping in Tesla we get a pull-in. I don't know. I wouldn't mind if it just rips back up to all-time highs. But like if you get a day or two pull down to like the 950, and I just want that so IQ can get his puts to pay him. One of the guys that are in our room, take that off. And we pull back to this like 950 area, hit the 8, and then run. So we set in like a another, because you can see we'll have these kind of lower pivots. Draw this trend line. Ascending support right there. It's not going to hit that, but I'll just draw it anyway. So you could pull down, set in another, like, you know, pivot over here somewhere. I don't know. Is that a question or is that a statement? It's just like hitting a demand zone, hitting a supply zone, kind of dropping, just kind of, you know, picking up volume, and I don't know. If we weren't in the middle of you know, Russia invading and stuff, we'd probably have a much nicer market market conditions. I think it's important to not over or underestimate like the how hard the market has been. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like if you're doing okay and you're not blowing out with how choppy the market has been, you're doing pretty good. Like if you're surviving, you're making a little bit of money, even if you're having some like hard ones. Even if you're having like a hard week or a hard day, but you're still good, like you should sometimes be happy with that. Actually, I was using these lines for sure stuff, but I'll re-put them on later. There's something to be said for just being consistent, you know? For just being able to sit around, to be able to make good trades, to be able to survive some of the hard stuff, and, you know, just kind of keep doing the job. It's not all about making P&L highs, like new P&L highs all the time. Sometimes it's just about trading consistently. You did have less volume in the Qs. You went up on less volume. It's a good way to look at it, Jess. Because it kind of did feel like that. Probably a lot of people shaking out. A lot of people thinking, oh, well, once Tesla gets above this level, it's going to do this, or it's going to do this, or, you know, some of these other names, oh, they're just going to keep going. We're going to get this rally, and then you had like a delayed move upwards on lower volume that was very choppy. Doing what I talked about on Wednesday's show. Kind of finding the strong names and playing them. Waiting for a trend, and like Naveen said earlier in chat, he said playing the second leg has been easier. So I've been trying to find names that you can clearly identify, like a strong leg up, and then finding the entry for the second leg and scalping that, or scalping the pullbacks in that leg. So it's like if you're doing measured moves in a name and you have a, you know, a name like that square chart I posted the other day or something like that, or even Facebook today. Were there any names trending today? I'll look at them. I'll see if I can show you examples from today on charts that weren't ugly. Tesla is definitely not one of them. I'm just scanning. Sorry, to see if I can find something that's an example of it. Today is not really a good day for an example. Yeah, I don't think today is a good day for examples on any of these names just because of how they traded. But the easiest thing for me has literally just been finding a name with a strong first leg, and then sometimes I'll play some of the pullback in the first leg and kind of scalp it and to see if it's tradable. Well, how are the options trading? Is it working? Is it not working? And if I like a name, or I kind of have an idea of how that name plays, then I'll go in and I'll play that name that second leg of it, and I'll look for the first entry, like a green takes red, or a like low pivot. Like if you're looking at Facebook's chart today, I didn't do it today because of how weird the market was. But if these 2-minute candles didn't look so ugly and it was a different day, this I would have played this here, right here, because if you fib this line like Kelly's video when he came on and talked, you know, you hit the 50% line, you drop down and you're sitting here. So this just looks ugly. You know, and the market was pulling down, but Facebook's still strong. It was a strong name. If these weren't as ugly and it wasn't such a weird day, you had this pull down and you had this base for a few minutes. So it's like, man, you know, this is a 2-minute chart. So we have a lot of basing down here. Like on the third or fourth attempt to break down, when it fails to break down on a name that's trending, I would go long. And this isn't a great example because today wasn't a great example, but it was kind of like Facebook today. Like here's where I got in at, and I could have sold here. My target was day highs. It didn't get there. But what I was looking for was day highs. It doesn't matter. Like this is the play that's been working for me. It's like, okay, the first leg happens, maybe or maybe not. I identify that it's strong and I get in on this pullback to VWAP. So we had an early test of VWAP. I could have got in here, but playing that second leg, if this would have continued and it wasn't a bad day, is kind of what's been working for me. Oh, it's earnings season next month. I wonder how that'll be. Sitting on my hands for the first 10 minutes or so. Like I could not log into the market until the first 5 minutes or so are done, and I would probably, well, I'm not doing many trades in the first 5 minutes, and I would be better. It did kill it for me. It was all market. It wasn't necessarily Facebook. Like on a normal day, if it wasn't for all that market negative news, I would have made 5 figures in that trade. I was very heavy in that Facebook trade. I was very heavy. Relatively speaking to the day, not like overall, but compared to the day and what it was, I went heavy for what my plan was today. And I sold the pop, so it wasn't like high risk. Like I didn't lose money on this trade. I technically made money on the trade. It's just I didn't make like the target because of that drop, and it was market related. Because I sold some, and that usually helps me hold, is selling that green takes red and then holding the rest, unless I really like it. It did look like it was bottoming, and if it wasn't for the market, it would have been. Like JR said he liked it when I called it that he got in, and other people said it, you know. And so this is what I'm talking about. So this is what you guys can look for. What I recommend looking for, what I've been looking for. You see something and it comes down and it like hits the moving average, like, oh, I missed the green takes red, okay, I'm not going to play it. And then it pulls back down and it hits right near that level again, and then it pops up, and maybe you don't get back in it, and then it comes back down and it tests it for the fourth or third time, and you're like, well, like when I'm thinking about it, if I like that name, I'm like, oh, so it's holding this level. So I almost look at this as like, man, okay, so it's holding this level, it's not breaking down. So it goes down here. Let's say I liked it here and then it didn't go, and then it popped up and it came back down here. It's like, okay, I'm going to get in when it gets back. Like I'm just going to get in as it starts ticking up here. Those are the things I've been looking for that have been helping me find plays to make money. Now, do I miss plays? Sure, because I'm looking for a good entry that's easy to play. It's like, yeah, I missed some plays. Like if I was playing it more aggressive, or if I just took the first one and added every time it hit, or I did something like that. Yeah, but right now to me it's about risk off, not risk on, because the market's hard. It's like I could easily hit my daily stop out. Like I could go 5 figures red easy trading aggressive in this market. I don't want to do that. To avoid doing that, I'm trying to find trades that reduce risk while giving me an opportunity to win. So on this trade, because I got in down here off the 21 on this candle, I was okay, because even when it went down, I sold some on the pop, so I'm risk out in a sense of like, yeah, you could still lose, but you've got some money in, so it's like, you know, you're a little bit, you're okay. Like, you know, if you break even on the second half or lose a few cents on the second half. So I wasn't like scared of getting shaken out down here, and then it pops up and, you know, and I sell because I see that the volume selling here was market related. It was different. it was some bad stuff, so I got out. Normally, I think this would have retested highs on a good market day. So finding that bottom on a second leg is what's been working for me. And I might play the first one and take some money, but then if I can find that bottom on a second leg or something near a support level or a pivot or a moving average, and then I just kind of let that ride, and I sell whenever I want to into the pop, and I just take profits along the way up. Topping tails on the 1 minute. You mean on this one or on this one? If you're talking about this, yeah, that's why I didn't get in here. I didn't play this because of these topping tails. This is 2 minute chart. Here, you know, I was a little worried here that I was going to lose, but I didn't. And if you're talking about on the 1 minute, there's not that many topping tails here. So yeah, you're talking about the next spot. You know, on a 1 minute chart, if you're watching this, and I have both of them up, you know, I was looking at this, and when this went down and then this broke up, I almost added to my position when this candle broke up, just because like it went down, it failed to break down, and then it went back up. Like I almost re-added to my position, but I didn't. So yeah, that's why I didn't get in here, was these topping tails. If it wasn't for these, like if this was like let's say a medium candle, and then this was inside, and then this like looked stronger, I would have been back in. But looking at it, it was like topping tail, topping tail, topping tail, and I was just like, I'm not getting in this. Like I'm not risking my day, and because of that, I missed the play, which is okay. A lot of times, if I lose in a name, I kind of create a rule that I'm just not gonna lose in it. But if I don't play it well, I'm just like, I'm not gonna play it. Like I'm gonna let it go. Like obviously, something happened that I didn't get in it. Unless there's a reason I really like the name, I just kind of let it go. I don't play it, especially when it looks like that. I know it was a market-related drop, and I could have played that. Kind of kicked myself, but what up? What up? Know something. That's like the person who texts on your birthday and be like, first. I text people at 11:55 on the night of their birthday, so I can be like, I'm last. And it's not because I forgot, it's just I want you to remember me. Know something, one and done, like the video, first like. How was your week? Hey, welcome back. I'm super excited for, why are both my kids moving at the same time? I'm telling you. Twins and they're twinning. Good. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. Let us know if you need anything. If you need any help with anything or anything else. JR's been killing it. It's been good to have him in the room. His insight and stuff is invaluable in my opinion. Y'all got questions or thoughts about the week? As far as like talking about show stuff or talking about like, I mean, I can always hit on different things specifically, but you know, it's been whatever. Sweet. Good deal. Don't wake up, boys. Gotta rely on you guys. Don't have a guest host tonight. I'll tell you something that is interesting to think about is like outside influences. Like my thoughts? Let me see. Yeah, I'm still bullish. I wouldn't be surprised to have a pull-in on the market. Like a 2-day pull-in. it wouldn't surprise me. I think it would be easier to trade if we had a day or two that kind of pulled down. Overall, I'm still bullish. We haven't had a good week this month. I mean, we had some good stuff, but as far as like easy trading, usually we get a week of just like, man, the moves are really good. We haven't had a lot of that this month. I think we're kind of due for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we consolidate and then get a few good days of trading. You had two inside days. We had two inside days, and a lot of names are close to inside, like a lot of like choppiness. So I wouldn't be surprised um, if we get a little bit of a pull down, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, and then continuation longer. I mean, I have no idea, obviously, but it's like if you saw this pattern intraday on Tesla, what would you do? Like if you were looking at this, like forget that this is the, move my face out of the way. Forget that this is the daily and pretend that this is like a 2 minute chart or an hour or a minute chart, and you saw this and you saw it sitting here, what would you think? Like if you saw this happening, would you be like, eh? Yeah, Wednesday was my best day. No. Yes. Tuesday was really good too. I'm not sure if Wednesday or Tuesday was my best day. They were both very close. Um, did I have to leave Wednesday? Tuesday was my best day. Wednesday was my second best day. Technically, time trading, Wednesday was my best day because I made all my money in 30 minutes, but Wednesday was definitely it. There you go. That's kind of what I think on Tesla here. It's like if I see that, it's like, yeah, if it breaks out, I'm going to take it. Like here's my thoughts on, I'm just speaking Tesla, and then we could go to different names. But looking at Tesla, it's like, if I get a breakout, yeah, I would take it. But it's like, what's the best trade? The best trade would be if it pulls down and kind of comes near the 8 and then takes off. So to have one red day or two red days, you know, on maybe decreasing volume or something, just like in this area, and then bust back through 1,000 and take off, you know, that would be ideal. All that being said, if it goes, I would take it. And that's how I kind of look at each name. You know, Qs and the moving averages are starting to line up. The 8's coming on top of the 20 in a lot of these names. So at some point, you're going to need to retrace, and you're going to need to test the 8 and the 20. Or 21, sorry. Let's see. How's Amazon say? Yeah, Amazon's coming up to the daily 200. You've got a lot of resistance here in Amazon with the daily 200 here. Both of these tops are right there at that 23, 20. Or I mean 33, 27, and 33, 23. You know, we're finally consolidating, and hopefully everything is kind of coming in, and we can get these moving averages together and facing up, and then we can get some more smoother trading, I think. When you're not going long into daily 200s, it's really nice, you know. It was like down here, I actually had a semi-hard time trading Tesla because it's like, yeah, it's moving up, but you're hitting moving averages. It's like all the moves you're hitting daily moving averages in 2 and 15 minutes and all this other stuff, and then you're hitting trend lines. I even have some that aren't drawn that you were hitting in here, and now you're basing a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a small pullback and then hopefully continuation. That would be the easiest thing. So know something, I actually started messing with that and I forgot to finish it. So I was messing with scans in TC2000, and I actually want to start doing them. Like I put in the parameters for it, and to tell me when, and so you can do it when it's like name above first 2-minute high. So it's like, where's the chart? It's above the first 2-minute high. It pulls down and touches the 8 on the 2-minute, or you could do any time frame. So first time it touches the 8, you would get an alert, and then first time it touches the 21, and then makes a new high, and you could have all these different things in there. So I've actually messed with it, but I forgot to go in and like use it. It was like something I started trying to program, and then I stopped messing with it. So it's now that actually, thanks for reminding me. I might do that on one of my down days next week, is sit down, or down afternoons, is sit down and and finish coding that scan to basically identify Mark 1s, not even Mark 1s, but know your limit strategies and stuff like that. And I wonder if I could program it for like retracement, like 50% retracement. So it could be like, here's your 50% retracement. In Tesla? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had the hourly chart up today. Like, look at this. Like, here's the hourly in Tesla. It's basically just going, and now you just have this flag. Now, who knows what direction this flag goes, but who wants to short Tesla? Like, think about it. You know? And you almost hit the 21 on the hourly. I'm not saying Tesla's not going back to here. A little bit of a retracement. Like, I don't think you could really do fibs and all that kind of stuff here and have it work. But if you were to do something like that, you know, I don't know if Tesla's going to go back to that, like, below 900 or 938 level, or, you know, even that 97. Like, I don't know. But it looks like it's consolidating. It made this massive move. It went from, you know, $750 to over $1,000, a $300 move in 10 days, or not even 10 days, in like 7 days. So in a week, a little over a week of trading, and now it's just consolidating at the $1,000 level. It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm very bullish in Tesla. I would totally be long in it. I think it rips. I think we get a good leading up to the summer months. I think we're going to have some really good trading in a lot of these names. In my opinion, names like Google and Amazon are going to be, it could go down. Fun. Now, I have no idea. But the way I'm looking at the market right now, which is, you know, I don't know anything, but you've had the worst January in recent memories. You've had the war, all this other stuff, a very choppy February and March, and I think we might have a bad year overall. But you do have the summer coming up, and you've got names like Amazon splitting and Google splitting, and Tesla's not a bad company, and people are going to buy it, and it's going to eventually go up. Eventually the market is going to get used to this war that's going on, and you know, it's not just going to stay down forever. And eventually the market's just going to price in that kind of stuff and kind of go higher. And then when the war is over, you're going to see all-time highs, or, you know, if people start getting nuked, it might go down a little bit. And who knows, you know, if bombs start dropping on NATO countries, I bet we see Tesla go down, just factually speaking. So it's kind of hard to know what's going to happen. But just flag wise, I think Tesla looks beautiful. I would like to see a little pull down and then a rip, personally. But yeah, I am working on scans. I just keep forgetting to do it, or to finish it. I will say though, I do like looking at see if I missed any questions. I do like looking at charts and stuff before I sit down in the morning, like to get acclimated so I remember where each name's at. But I actually don't spend a lot of time or energy really focusing on stuff like this. There you go. There's your good trend line. Because I really only care what's happening intraday. So going around and trying to guess, I don't like that one as much. Going around and trying to guess what's going to happen and look at charts and predict isn't my thing, because I'm just going to sit down and see how the price action is in the morning, and I'm going to trade then. What up, Dan? So it's not really, not that it's bad, but it's not really my thing. Because I'm going to trade it no matter what. I'm going to be watching it no matter what. And if I come in with too much of a bias, I'm not going to be able to identify what's happening in front of my face. And instead of like identifying a really good trade and taking the right setups, I'm going to be like, man, Tesla should just be going up now. or Amazon should just be doing this, as opposed to looking at it and just, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. Oh, the trend line stuff? Yeah. You really have to do stuff so much to get to a point where you're yep. Oh, where you have just such confidence in what you do and just confidence in your art and in your trade, like skill trade, that you're able to do things and do them repetitively. It's like that Facebook trade I lost in today. I have absolutely no, like, it doesn't bother me that it didn't work, because on a normal day, 9 times out of 10, that's a beautiful trade. It goes to day highs and I get paid. The fact that it didn't today really doesn't bother me. I wish it would have, but it's just like, well, that's the type of day it is, and then I just kind of let it go and move on from there. I think that's like the only way to be. Like, if you get pissed off and you just get mad because something's not working, I don't know, that just sets you up, in my humble opinion, for failure, as opposed to just being like, nope, this is what it is, and yeah, oh well, this is the type of day it is. We're just gonna live with it and trade with it. If you try to start forcing things, and that's like the problem for me when we get into like biases of the market and what you think the market is gonna do. This is an hourly chart in AMD, by the way. Um, when you get into stuff like that, it taints your ability to trade what's in front of you on your charts. And it really messes with you to see like a trade that could be set up, because it's like, oh, I think Tesla is going to go down here or is going to go up here. And then, well, what if it's not? What if it's going to do something else? And you're sitting there trying to, you have a bias and the chart's telling you something different, but you're not actually willing to listen to it because you have what you think is going to happen based on old information, because your opinion is based on something you saw 5 hours ago or 10 hours ago or 3 or 4 days ago, as opposed to what's in front of your face. And that's just my, like, you know, general thoughts on the matter, useless thoughts on the matter, as it were. Trend Spider does. I'll have to look. I've never heard of Trend Spider. Y'all would be surprised. Like, a lot of you guys do a lot more market stuff than I do, and that's not a good thing for me. Um, I've never, like, I don't know, my thought with stuff a lot of times when people are like, oh, do this, do this, do this, like, it's like, well, does this right now make me money? And in a sense, that is the only thing I think about. So it's like, is what this person telling me going to, like, is using this, do I need this to make money? Well, I've been making money without it. I'm not saying it can't be useful, and I'm all down with, this is not a commentary on TrendSpider or anything else. I think stuff like that is extremely helpful, and there's a ton of helpful stuff out there. But I'm always cautious with the stuff I take in and the stuff that I watch and use. I'll write it down, actually, TrendSpider, so I can. I'll check it out. I just added it to my stuff. Oh, these trend lines. Yeah. And yeah, the trend lines are very handy. if this and this, if it hits these levels. Same with the Geronimo's hourly pivots. Like I never really looked at hourly charts, and this is one of the things that I've kind of started doing more, is looking at hourly charts and 15-minute charts more often. Like even before the market opens, it's like, well, if you're looking at a Tesla level or you're looking at AMD or Facebook, like what are you seeing? If you're looking at Tesla here and you see this, like, if you're not sure, man, it just looks choppy. Like if you just look at a 1-minute chart, man, this just, I mean, you zoom out, it looks good, but you look in, you're like, man, I just can't do anything. This is just garbage. But you look out and you're like, oh, like look at this on the hourly. This is just like, this is some consolidation here. This is, and you can kind of start getting a picture of what things look like, and a bigger market picture has been super helpful. I think JR is actually going to do a master class on that at some point soon. Hourly pivots would just be levels of support that kind of hold. So something like this. Let me move my face out of the way. And this is not a good example. I'm just throwing you a possible example. So you can see here that, so I just threw this line and I attached it to this pivot low here. Where you can see how this is kind of support and resistance, like when it's been hitting. And I'm not an expert at this, so you guys that are like trendline snobs and all this other kind of stuff and watching on YouTube and all that, and you're like, oh, well, this isn't whatever. I'm just giving a loose example of what happens when you zoom out and you look at an hourly chart. So if I was looking at Tesla back here on this time frame, and you looked, you could see that there's like a big level of like it's hitting and bouncing. Yeah, it dropped below it. It gapped up. Next time it hit this level, it bounced, hit this level again and bounced. When it broke this level, it then became resistance, and you kind of have this kind of, and then it chops around it for a little bit. So you can kind of, I guess, find those pivots, and you can just see how it sits here sideways for a while. Yeah, it's a very good level. And so this, I'm just, I don't know. I'd have to click it on something and mess with it. I'm just throwing something up. So I guess you could do that too with an hourly pivot. Pivot just being a level of supply or demand. So you could, in a sense, look right here, and on the hourly, you haven't had an hourly candle close below this low in Tesla. So in other words, 97.32, which was actually when we broke, if you guys remember, so this 97.32 is a key level. And I think I had this on my chart earlier today because I had marked this. So look back at this 97.32 level. Look, we're zooming out on the hourly all the way back into 2021 and 2020. So once we got above this, look at the support here at this level. Right, and it makes sense because it's right below 1,000. But look at this. Over here, support, broke below it, support, again, bounced. And you can see it like here, it looks like, look at this, like you have this pivot here, comes back to the pivot, breaks it, and goes right back above it. We flush it here, and now we're back at that same pivot. So you could kind of say that this area, I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of dumb when I'm talking about it here because it's $1,000 level, but it's below $1,000. And you can see it hit here and failed and then broke above and went down. And since we've gotten above it, we have not had a candle close below 97.32. So to me now, on the hourly level, as long as candles kind of hold this 97.32 and it gets back above it, you're gonna hold up, I guess. And so if tomorrow, like how I would use this in trading, because here's the thing, who cares if anything I'm saying right now is useful, or it makes sense if you're if I'm just telling you something and you can't use it. Here's how I would personally use this if I was looking at this hourly chart. Here's what I would do. Let's say we have a candle that looks like this one, the last candle. Let's say that we have a red candle on, I don't know, Monday morning, and then it goes, but it doesn't break 97, and then it breaks 97, and then we have a candle that looks like this, and it pops back up, and it closes above 97.32. And then that next hour candle would be a really good breakout. You have some support. It chops around a little bit. I would buy at that level for a break and maybe hold higher for a test of, a high, or a test of something, a test of maybe that 1,020 something area to see if we can get back above that 1,024, basically, like this. So that's how I would use that to make money. So if I zoomed out and I made a level on a chart, is there a level of supply and demand, as JR likes to talk about? So you can kind of see that consolidation in here on that line I drew earlier. And then here, if you look at this 97.32 area, this is another what looks to be a level of supply and demand right below $1,000. It makes sense. It's right below $1,000. So that's a big level of support now. This has become support. And every time we've dropped below it, we've busted above it. So until you break this level with confidence and you start, I don't think, and I wouldn't short anything above this level for long plays. I don't think you're going to get that big move down there. Maybe we gap down and we just end down there, but, we start down there. So that's how I use those levels, the hourly pivots and 15-minute pivots that JR calls out. I guess I should have left that because that's just a big level of support. And this is an hourly of the Qs, and I don't know exactly how JR does it. And I'm looking forward to his class that he teaches. And if you guys are watching this, definitely, and you're not a Newsbeat, you're watching this in the future, you don't know what we say when we're saying Newsbeat Live or anything like that, drop a DM in the comments and I'll put you in contact with somebody over there. And you can come. It's another room we trade in apart from Discord, and you can trade with us. You'll know who JR is from one of my last videos, and you can join the Newsbeat Live room. But you can see this level in the Qs. So you hear JR saying stuff like, he'll say stuff like, and this is just my assumption on what he means. Maybe I'll have him on the show next week or something, and we can talk more about it. But 357.70. He says, I've heard him say a lot recently, this level is important and this level is key. Why? Well, look how many candles you have hitting it. You have 3 candles that is the top of just here, 1, 2, 3. And if you start zooming out on this trend line, you've got another candle over here. This is right along this kind of supply and demand curve in the Qs. I'm not worried about it back there. So, and that's on an hourly chart. So my assumption when he's doing stuff like this, and this is something, again, I have to ask him about. I'm not an expert in this. I'm just making assumptions based on some stuff that I've done in the past. You could do something like this on a longer time frame. Yeah, it is going to be in April. Yeah, there will be a free, you'll be able to trade with Newsbeat Live for free. So if you zoom out, you can just kind of see those levels. Here's one right here. Me zooming out on this chart, me just zooming out. I'm just sitting here zooming out. What am I looking at? Look at this. Boom. Wow. Trend line. Horizontal line drawn. There's your support line right there. 351.61. There's your support. Short term. You can zoom out and see where it's been in the past. But in the short term, look at this. It's it failed it. It failed it. It broke above it. All right, we're good. It's retested and it bounced. So, if the Qs open up where they're at, on an intraday play, when I logged in this morning, I could have logged in, I could have went to this level in the Qs, and I could go to JR's Q levels. I would imagine this would be one of his triple Q levels. Basically, you need to break this level to be bearish. To be really bearish, I mean. Because we're 10 points higher. So this is probably a level of support on the 15-minute. I'm not saying it is the level. I'm just saying it might be a level. You could do something like this. Look at this one. This is probably one he did. So now I zoomed it in a little bit more. Look at this one. And again, I don't do this as much, but look at this one. I moved it from down there to something that's really not in play today to up here. Look what was in play today. So this is a 15-minute chart. So if you guys log in and you look at a 15-minute chart, Like, okay, this is a 15-minute chart for the last couple days. You can see the days at the bottom. Here you go. We hit it and failed. We hit it and failed. We hit it and failed. It's like 4 tests of it on 15 minutes. Hit it and failed. Finally break through. Break above. Okay, we break below that level. All right, we hit it. We break through it. I'm not sure. Did he call this long here? And, now we're just around there. But you could throw this up as an important level. Because look at it. It's been a resistance level and a support level. I don't know what it is in the past. Oh, look. That didn't hit it. That doesn't count. I wouldn't say it's been much in the past. Yeah, I don't really go back there to say that's anything. But in the short term, this has been a level. So, and this is a 15-minute time frame. So little stuff like that are how he uses, and from my understanding, what he would do in that and how he would find stuff like that. Does that make sense? I don't know if hopefully I didn't ramble too much, but did that kind of make sense and answer the kind of questions about that? Yeah. So you can do the same thing. Like there's nothing particularly whatever with how I do with doing any of that stuff. It's definitely not anything special. Or any specific skill. But that is something you can do if you're looking for those levels and you want to find them. Like, I want to find levels like he finds these levels. Just zoom out on a 15-minute chart. Here's a Tesla level, and get you a horizontal line and throw it up and see if this is kind of an area of support or resistance, and if you can actually, and if it doesn't match up, maybe it's not a level of support and resistance, but there are definitely levels that you can find and stuff like that. I do hope next week is better than this week. Consolidating week this week. Looking forward to a strong end to the month. Hopefully I close on my Georgia house next week. Is the plan. And selling this house next week. Thanks for that trend spider there. I'll check that out. Yo, what up, Con? Welcome. And about an hour in, guys, just as a random reminder, like, share, subscribe. You want to help out the channel, you want to help me out, you like what I'm doing, throw up a like, share the content with people who you think might be interested in it. Even if you're just saying I'm watching this right now, you throw it up on your Facebook or anything else. I appreciate it if you if it's something that you're enjoying. If not, that's fine. But if it is, and if you do want to help me out, help out the channel, do that. Comment afterwards. It's all appreciated. Definitely appreciate it. You guys are the best. Yo, welcome. Salancha. Cheers. We're Newsbeat. Got to stick the pinky out when you drink, right? Pinky out. Psh, drink. Yeah, and you do have earnings, which is something, who said that earlier? Jay? Saying that their earnings did? Yeah. So if you have earnings next month and you have this stuff, I bet you've got people betting on earnings. So going into that, usually I don't play after earnings. It's leading up to it is when the moves happen. Oh, you know a name I like for earnings, by the way? Boom. This name, Lululemon. That's what this hoodie is. Like 90%. It's actually what these pants are. I liked Lulu like for a while. Thought about adding it to a long-term portfolio. You know why? Like it's like all my wife buys and buys me, so I have to wear it. But beyond that, I don't know anything about the company as far as their numbers or any of that stuff. All I know is every time they release something new, it gets sold out. That doesn't mean anything, but they just release shoes. I'm not buying their shoes. I don't like their shoes. They're all sold out. I don't know. I don't know if that means anything. But it's just like one of those, are they going to have good earnings and good guidance? They started selling to men. It is. I've actually been I meant to do a show like a couple weeks ago, like a month ago, when I started seeing the stuff they're getting out and all their men stuff selling out. Like they said, we're going to start, like their guidance for last their thing was like we're going to start selling to men, and then after their earnings, and then they kind of went down and all that stuff because of everything going on. I was like, this is a value buy, because you know how many wives are buying their men Lulu stuff now? Here's the daily, you know, like everybody. Dude, I love Lululemon stuff for guys, obviously. Um, Extremely comfortable. Their shirts, I've had one of their shirts for 7 years, and I work out hard. Not as much right now, but I'm getting back to it. And it doesn't stink. Like, quality is just money. Like, if you work out and you train hard, quality matters. Because if you're just buying, and nothing wrong with it, but if you're just buying a $5 Nike shirt, that crap stains, that crap stinks, it's just annoying. It doesn't last. Your cotton shirts fade. I've had a Lulu shirt for probably 7 years, and I still wear it. I actually have it on under this one. This shirt, my aunt got me like when I was dating my wife. It's like one of the older Lululemon style shirts, and I still wear that thing and work out in it, and it does not stink. It does not have holes in it. It does not pick. They replace their stuff. I love their pants. They have like a thicker material on a runner, like the underwearless stuff and the other stuff. Love their stuff. Wife recently got me like a pair of their sweats. This hoodie, the hoodie I have in my cover photos, Lulu. I pretty much just trade in that, and I wear it because I trade and I go work out, go do jujitsu, other stuff. It's like I pretty much just wear Lulu. Like it's like blue jeans and like I don't know, work attire, like out doing stuff outdoors. Or like if I'm just sitting around, like I'm just in my house and stuff, it's just workout attire because I'm gonna go from here to the gym. It saves me a change of clothes. So yeah, best quality stuff. There might be other stuff that's just as good, and if I have no particular love for the company itself, so if you said, hey, this company is literally just as good and cheaper, I'd get it. I usually get most of the stuff like aftermarket anyway, but I have military discount there, so I think I get like 25% off at their stores, which is pretty good. But yeah, um, if I have no idea how they're going to act on earnings. I am not telling you to do anything. I have no idea, like the fundamentals of the company and all that crap. All I know is all their men's stuff sells out, and they're starting to focus more on men. I know they just released shoes, and all their shoes are sold out. Might just be the way they do things, so it creates demand. No idea. There you go, Marine Corps surplus. Nothing wrong with that. So, Athleta. Yeah, my wife wears, she actually gets their Athleta stuff instead of, oh, that's something else. Sorry, I thought you were saying Athleta. My wife gets Athleta's leggings instead of Lulu's because they're cheaper and just as good. It's the shirts and the stuff she gets for herself from Lulu. So yeah, I really like this company, randomly speaking. As along, I think it's a solid. I think they're becoming more solid. I know their like owner or whatever got in trouble once for telling women is like because he made his clothes for like girls with thigh gaps, and at one point someone was like, "You should make clothes whatever for whatever." Or like, what about the girls? Because you Lulu's leggings used to chafe if your legs rolled together or like rubbed together, and he was like, I think he just told them to lose weight. Was the CEO's answer? I was like, ha ha. I was like, I like him. I was like, that made me like him. I'm joking, but so definitely joking, but yeah, that's, you know, they've changed from that to something that's else. So like now they're more whatever. I have a bunch of different stuff. Alpha Athletics. I'll check this company out though. I'll show them to my wife. I like it. I'm clicking on it right now. Hello. What do I have to do and email me? I don't want to give you my email. It's telling me I have to do my email. Shopman. Preview new releases. These are women. This is not a man. Have they released yet, or is this like coming to market soon? Looks like it's coming to market in like 13 hours from what I've clicked on. Like they, oh, yeah, they haven't even launched yet, dude. Are you the founder of this company, Iliad? Is this you? Is the Jack dude in the pictures posing? Is that you? And then whenever I say I work out, you're like, son, you don't work out. Look at me. Yeah, they don't even have anything yet. But now I'm going to get all the ads for them. Because now I clicked on it, I don't have my VPN turned on. So I'm going to get all the ads now on my Facebook and everything out. Dude, some of these guys are yoked. Now I'm just going to prepare. My wife will see them now, so she'll probably look to order stuff from them because they're going to pop up on all the ads. Dude, one day... Oh, they sell out every time. That's the way to do it. Just make enough to where it's like, that's the way to do it. He's got something going. I'm going to have to look. Maybe I'll order his stuff. I'll stay up, or in 13 hours I'll hop on and order it. Dude, I can't wait. I'm building a new gym. And if y'all have market questions, throw it out. Like, I'm down. I'm just, end of the week, just chilling. It's Fireside. You know, drug up market stuff. And if I didn't answer something you sent before, you can send it again. Just kind of chilling and BS, and don't have anybody here to chat with. So, well, I'll chat with you guys. If any of y'all ever want to come on the mic, you're welcome to, by the way. If any of you guys want to come on. Well, for grappling, I would do, I've got my gi for grappling. And I've got some like special, not special, but just normal one for no gi. Just tight stuff. I don't grapple in my Lulu stuff either. It's way too expensive to grapple in. It's gonna rip. But I'm building a gym in my new home. Got a gym, 3-car garage, and it's like offset, so there's 2 cars. 2-car, which is really a 3-car. It's massive, 3-car, and then like another door here, and it's a single one where you could like put a boat. And I'm gonna put a gym in there so I can start powerlifting at home. I'm gonna build one of all that, so I'm pumped for that. Pretty sure that's a business expense. I can use that as a tax write-off, I think. I gotta figure out how to do that. Is it for like, I'm building it for my employees' health, so my insurance cost is lower. That's how that works, right? Yeah, all that being said, I don't know anything, but I think Lulu is a good company and probably going to run up in the earnings. It hasn't broken out, though. You haven't had a higher pivot low yet. I guess this technically would be considered like it went up and then it kind of pulled in some and it went higher. But it would need to break, this, I think, 3150. But I could see it going back and testing the 200 over the next month. if I was swing trading things. I'm not taking a position in this, so maybe I'll add it in a long-term portfolio or something. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, over this weekend I'm gonna, I think, create the swing room for the chat, for swing trade ideas. I think I'm gonna try to throw that in, just because I know now we're at the bottom. Some people think we're at the bottom of the market. I know a lot of you guys are like, you know, gonna do swings and adding to long-term, positions and stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool to have something like that added to the Discord for people to say in this, at this, taking spreads, taking this and this name, doing this, taking calls for like way out here. I think it'd be a fun little thing to add. So definitely something I'm gonna do. Man, new stuff coming every week. That should be what I advertise. That should really be what I advertise to, I'm not advertising Discord or advertising stuff. It's like new stuff every week added to the channel. Anything you want. What do you mean by TP? Target price? Is that what you mean, target price? I assume you mean target price. So I don't use ATR to determine target price. I use ATR to determine how I'm going to play a name. So for instance, if I go to everyone's favorite Tesla, and I look at the 1 minute chart, and we zoom out to somewhere. Yeah, I would take profits. Okay, same thing, I guess. Let's see. How to describe how I use. So I don't use it at all for that, because that's just how much it's moving, how much an individual candle is moving. So a 1 minute candle is moving an average of $2 within that 1 minute time frame. How I use it is more for, so once the ATR starts dropping, I'm not buying near triggers. I'm buying away from triggers, or I'm buying when the candle hasn't moved yet. So I use it more to tell me how I can play something. It's like if you have a $5 ATR or $4 ATR in Tesla, so it's moving $4 to $5 every minute on average, I could buy nearer a trigger and get paid. I could buy later in a move and get paid. I could chase and get paid. If the ATR is $2 or below, or $2.50 and below, or $2.20 and below, you're really looking at, it's harder to play the breakout level. So where would I play? I would change where I play the name. And instead of trying to, I can't really see a point here. Let's just say, let's pretend, for instance, you're playing kind of something like this, this candle, and it's kind of broken out, but this move is only $1. So this might look big, but this is only $1. Like this candle only moved less, $1.50. This one moved $1.75. So these are not big moves in Tesla here. So it's like, well, I think it's going to go higher. It's breaking above VWAP. I want to play this. Where do I want to play it? I'm not going to play at the top of this, like a candle that's moved $1 or $2 already. I'm not going to play at the top of this breakout. I'm going to wait for the pullback, and then you can see this one closed. So how I think about it is, okay, we had a pop above VWAP. We pulled down to VWAP, and the next candle opened. Okay, so to the bottom of this candle, from where I'm at now, this is 994, which is from where this one opened at $10. So $1,010 is where this opened. The bottom of this candle is 96 cents. This next candle tested that 96-cent level. So it opened up, it pulled back down to the low of the previous candle. That's only a 40-cent move. I probably buy when it ticks off of that 40-cent move to the upside, knowing that I still have that ATR on this candle, meaning an average of $2 a move, and this candle does move exactly roughly $2 to the upside. I do not wait to buy it near the top of the candle where it would break out, because the top of the candle is a dollar something away, and you only have $1, $2 move per candle on average. So on the scalps, I'm changing how I play that when the ATR drops, because I need to be able to catch that move, and I don't want to sit in it for another 2 or 3 candles. I want to make sure I'm green on something. So it's like, okay, and it's happening very quickly. This isn't a slow, methodical thing like I'm talking about. This is just me seeing, okay, we have an ATR of $1. Okay, so if I do get into this candle, I think it's going to test this level and pick a level. And you could pick a level based on a pivot. You could say, I think Tesla broke above VWAP. It's pulling down. My target is yesterday's close. Where can I get in? Okay, I have an ATR of $1.25. It pulled back down. I'm going to enter down here, and okay, it's going. I'm going to take a small enough position that I can sit in this name for 5 to 10 minutes, and this only took 3 minutes. So I don't know. Pick a time frame. I don't care. I need to be able to sit into this and expect this trade to take 10 minutes to get to my target. Okay, what do I need to do on a mental level to get myself ready to hold the trade for that long? Is it sizing down? Is it where do I need to enter? Is it what do I need to do as a trader based on my mindset and what I'm doing to hit it? If I buy Tesla and then I'm instantly red, am I going to sell it? Yes. Okay, I can't sell it. I can't buy near this breakout. I need to buy the pullback. If the pullback doesn't come, I don't buy it maybe. Or if it just starts ripping, I change what I'm doing. But I buy it somewhere when it starts popping up here. Okay, now it popped. Now you can re-choose what to do, sell it or hold it. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, it's closing at the top of this candle. Let's see what happens on the next candle. The average ATR is, maybe it pulls down, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It opens up, it rips up. You're like, okay, you hit target and you're $3 higher. And that might only be $1 or $1.50 on your calls, but there's your trade. And then it pulls back down. And now it retested the 8, and you're like, okay, I want to get back in it. The ATR is still super low. What's your target? I think if we break out here, we're going to go, is this day highs? This was the breakout in Tesla, actually. I actually traded this, so I think I'm accidentally telling you guys how I traded this. Not that it's a secret, but let's throw this up. Day highs. You're like, okay, Tesla breaking out. For whatever reason, I think Tesla's going to day highs. Where was I at? It broke VWAP. It came back. It tested VWAP. It pulls down. It's on the 8 on the 1 minute chart. You could look at a 2 minute time frame and do the exact same thing. Where am I at? I'm just doing it on the 1 minute. You could do it on the 2 minute. And I think here it tested, is this that same level? Yeah, this is that same level. It tested the 8 on the 2 minute. I know I bought this one actually. It broke above VWAP. It pulled down. It tested the 8. You had this tweezer bottom here, these two levels that were the exact same. I know I bought that actually. And then you have this other red bar. You buy towards the bottom of the red bar instead of the top if you have a low ATR, because you just tell yourself, I'm going to need to hold it for a little bit longer. And I need to take the right size to do that. And so that's how I use ATR. It doesn't have to be low. It just has to be a level. I mean, I try to get as close to where I want my stop to be as possible. In this case, it's just VWAP. And theoretically, your stop could be, because the ATR is so low, like Tesla could drop $1 here, and the ATR, like your contracts might only move 20 cents or 50 cents. You could still win on $1 drop in Tesla if you have good price improvement. So maybe I'm thinking it's going to retest the 21 here instead of VWAP. So it came back down to VWAP. I buy at the bottom of this candle, and I'm like, I'm going to give it to the 21. Theoretically, the safest way would just be if it breaks down at all, I'm out. But you could give yourself as much wiggle room as you are okay with. I am simply giving you a way to think about it. But now if ATR is like $5, It's like, I don't give a crap where I buy this thing. It's like, psh, like if these were $5 candles, it's like I'm just gonna buy it. It's like it's ticking up. I don't care. Like obviously I still want a good entry. Blah blah blah. It's down here. It starts ripping up. It's like I'm just gonna buy it. Like it's moving $5 to $10 a candle. It's like it's gonna move. You're gonna get paid. It's like boom, I got paid. These are, this is a $4 move. But these three candles only like a $3 move, $4 move. So I use it to give me perspective on the market and to keep me real on what I can expect when I trade the name. So it's like if it's the middle of the day and I'm trading Tesla with a 150 ATR, it's like, okay, what do you need to do? Maybe you need to widen, maybe you need to take less size, widen your stop to give the trade some room, have a good entry near where you think a really good entry is, and then let the trade work and hold the trade for 5 to 10 minutes because it might take that long for you to actually gradually move there. As opposed to trading it in the first 30 minutes of the day, like in 5 seconds, I can make 3 points in Tesla or a point and a half in Tesla, and if you buy at the right time. Like I showed the trade, or we showed the trade on Wednesday when I made 7 points in Tesla really, fairly quickly, all based on when you buy. But it's the time of the day. So the ATR changes my aggressiveness and how I play it, as opposed to sizing down, trading small, trying to get in at a lower level, and then holding that kind of move, as opposed to just like, okay, we're near the trigger, I'm buying. If you're near the trigger and you're buying a candle that like has already moved the ATR, you're much less likely to get paid. Just kind of how I think about it. I mean, my target, do you hold things longer, Iliad? Because I mean, like, I'm mostly a hyper scalper. I do things that are longer holds. I've been looking for those, but that doesn't change the type of trader I am. I'm still predominantly a hyper scalper. Don't get me wrong, I do some longer stuff, but usually my price target is I'm just selling. Or if you've seen my video with Kelly, go back and watch the video with Kelly. If I'm doing longer holds, neither one is right or wrong. Right now, hyper scalping is incredibly hard. Like this week, it was super hard. I made more money in my long holds. Some weeks I don't make money in my long holds. So I'm trying to do both. If you haven't seen my video with Kelly, go back and watch it. His video gives me a price target, whether or not it's right. Like if I'm looking for a target, go watch his video with his fib lines. Another way I do price target, the price target doesn't really change. It's just the speed at which I think it's going to get there. So I prepare myself before I get in the trade for what this trade is going to look like, and the entry point I need to hold the trade. Those are the two things ATR kind of gives me. Another way I look for like hold points in a choppy market would be like if I bought at the bottom of an hour, like here. Let's say that how to do that. Where's a bad candle? I'm not really sure how to. Let's pretend that like this can't or I don't know. I don't really know. I could look at it something like this, like if like a target on an hourly, like if you held this hourly here and I bought it at the bottom, so it's like if I had all my charts up, I had a 15-minute chart, an hour chart up, and there was some reason for me to buy at the bottom of this hour, my target could technically be the top of this hour or somewhere in here, or VWAP. So it's like you buy down here, it held this hourly low, it's popping up. I'm going to take 5 contracts and I'm going to ride them up to VWAP, and then I'm going to see what it looks like. So I kind of, when I'm looking to enter a trade or find a trade, you can look at these larger time frames and it's like, well, Tesla failed to break down 104.02. It basically, like, it hit 104.02 to the penny, 2 and 3 o'clock. All right, so going into power hour today, or this was yesterday, this wasn't today. So going into power hour, during power hour, we hit 104.02 perfectly, and then we started bouncing. All right, I'm going to take it at 105 or 450 or something as it's breaking up, assuming there's a reason to get in it there. And I think it's going to retest the high, or I think it's going to try to break out on the hourly, or it's at least going to go back to VWAP. And so I create targets in my head based on what I'm looking at, and then once I enter the trade, my targets don't really matter. It's okay, now let me take the whole market into account. It's like, yeah, this is still my target, but is the market tanking? It was like Facebook today. I got out of Facebook way before, not way before, but I got out of Facebook before my stop hit today because there was market news that drove it down. So it was like I was in Facebook here, which I thought was a great trade. I was up 50 cents and 50, 70 cents, and then this happened. And my stop was here. I didn't wait to here because I could tell it was going to go, so I just sold as it started ripping down. So then I take everything into account, and if it looks like I'm going to fail, I just get out and I let it go. That's how I do it personally. So that's how I use and how I find targets and stuff. It's like day highs or R2, or you can use all these different levels. Sometimes in Google, it's R2. If you go on here and we have these pivots and stuff, I'm sorry if I'm rambling. If you guys have other questions or whatever, or want me to shut up, sometimes it's like if it fails to break through R1 or something, my target could be pivot. Like I think it's going to retest the lower pivot. If it bounces off, sometimes, depending, my target could be R2. If you're in the middle of a green takes red and it's really strong and it's trending, and you get a green takes red to the upside and you're going to continue that leg, a lot of times I think it's going to hit that R2 or that pivot, which is this level, before you break down. And sometimes that's my target on slower moving names. So that is my rant done on those things. What am I doing? One minute. Yeah. I have it on this. Boom. Right here. On my watch list. I don't know if this is the best way to have it, but I added it to my watch list. So you can edit average. This is what it looks like. Average true range 10. Last value bar go 10. So the last 10 minutes. Time frame 1 minute. What's my 1 minute average of the last 10 minutes? Last value, net change. Yeah, I think last value. Maybe net change is the right answer. Am I doing this wrong? No, it wouldn't be net change. It would definitely be last value. Which is the default. It defaults at 14 in last value. So where's it changed since the last value? A lot of times I do the same con. There are sometimes I don't. In this market, 100% of the time, I'm selling half into 15 seconds in, or as the trigger, my initial trigger gets me that, and then I hold a runner 100% of the time right now. In a strong trending market, I usually hold for my target. Like if there's a day that the market's trending and a name is trending, I hold for my target. If it's a market like it is today, I do not hold for my target. So it's been about an hour and a half. I don't mind keep going if there's not other stuff, but I mean, just kind of BSing and going on, and there's not, I mean, we're, going on an hour and a half here. I promise I'll have some people on next week. I'll plan it a little bit better beforehand, unless I will be going to Georgia, I think, next week. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on. Hopefully we can get, hopefully I can get a guest on next week. I think CT will be back next week. A few other people will be back. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Friday night, it was a tough week. Hopefully you were green. I did have a green week. Most days were flat. Overall, it was solid in my opinion. I had 2 really good days and then 3 like flat days, and just the fact that they weren't blowouts made my week great, generally speaking. But I'm happy with the week, happy with how I traded for the most part. Few mistakes I want to correct, but it's a tough market. So if you're continuing and you're doing good, whether you're green, whether you're whatever, hey, just keep to the system, keep to what you know how to do, trade smart, trade intelligent, and you'll be okay, guys. You'll be good. So survive, keep pushing forward. If you did like this content, like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Hit the notification bell. You'll know when I go live and stuff. You can also join us in Discord. You'll see the link to the Discord in the description of this video. If you have any questions, throw them up in the comments, and I will definitely get back to you. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Relax, clear your mind. Let's go into next week clean and ready to trade intelligently. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you next week.